Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new format of ours, where today we'll be discussing about a lot of different questions that had been thrown to us throughout the span of the week and helping you understand different diverse topics in fitness a lot more better in a span of a single video. So if you happen to find this format interesting or worthwhile, please do let me know in the comment section so that I can keep this type of a video coming in more frequently. So without further delay guys, let's dive down straight into the very first question. Okay, so the first question was asked by Rebo Music, which happens to be Ritoboto. Okay, so Ritoboto here wanted to know the step-by-step instructions to performing handstand push-up. Okay, firstly, since I have trained you personally and I know what you're capable of, so it should not be that difficult for you. Rather I'll be addressing the question on a much general tone. The first thing you guys have to remember is you guys have to get at least a decent number of push-ups in place. Say somewhere around 25 to 30 push-ups minimum at one go without stop. If you're capable of doing that, then you can progress on to the next step, which happens to be the pike push-ups. So pike push-ups or decline push-ups are a good progression to spin off from a normal push-up, and from there slowly try and get yourself on a upside down position by walking reverse towards the wall. What that will help you in is that will give you a lot more confidence to be on your hands and support your entire body accordingly. So once you get confidence and once you're able to hold that position for around 30 seconds to 45 seconds is good enough. Once you can hold that, then you slowly start getting into a handstand push-up. Now the better you get at it, the more confident you get at it, keep going closer and closer to the wall, and within no time I assure you, you will be getting your handstand push-up perfectly. Okay, so next question that we have is from Mimo KKC. He asks how to start weight workout when gym will be opened. Okay Mimo, great question and a very relevant question given to the current times. So what you essentially have to remember is a lot of us have kind of stayed relatively dormant as compared to a usual routine for a span of close to 3 months now. That the gyms have been shut nearly, at least my gym has been shut. Exactly, it's been 3 months till date. So a lot of us has not been exposed to a lot of heavy weights or overload as a matter of fact in these months, and that has definitely affected our strength as well as our muscle mass to some extent if you have not been working out regularly, that is. So you have to remember is when you start going to the gym once again, you get back into a usual routine, just take it slow and easy. Chances are your strength is gonna drop, which is fine. Your muscle mass might appear smaller, which is fine. And given the fact that you specifically, Mimo, you're a lean individual, so you might experience definitely some amount of muscle atrophy, at least visually you will feel so. So don't be bothered by that. The muscles are an incredible thing, and once you have been lifting for years, I think like you have, so it won't be that difficult for you to gain back all your muscle as well as strength. So don't rush it in the gym. Take it slow and easy. Take it progressively. You can get down as low as 50 to 60% of your 1 rep max and start making them your working sets, slowly moving on to 65, 70, 80% of your 1 rep max as you progress throughout the month. So the takeaway here is take it slow and easy and make sure you get in proper form. That's the key. So once you get back into the gym, focus on your form rather than focusing on the weight. So I hope that answers your question. And now moving on from there, next question comes from Proga93. Okay, his question is how to do doggy while benching. Are you lost, baby girl? The next question comes from Smithy. Okay, Smithy. So Smithy here asks, why do women gain weight after marriage or as they grow older? Okay, so this is a very ambiguous question, Smithy, and I'll be trying my best to answer this for you. So the thing is, it's not necessarily related to marriage or necessarily related to women aging as such. Leaving aside pregnancy, that's a complete separate aspect. So usually people get lazy, that's about it. There is no specific explanation as to why women get fat after marriage. The main reason is they stop working out, and as they age, the natural metabolism that you might have at a younger age definitely slows down as you grow older if you're not an active individual, that is. So definitely working out and having a good balanced diet and nutrition plan will help them stay in shape. There is no other ways to it. It's not like you will gain weight after you grow past your 25s or 30s or after you get married. There's nothing like that. I know incredible women who are past the age of 35, 40 who are in great shape. So that is really an excuse and nothing else. If there is a will, there will be a way. However, if talking about pregnancy, of course, as the general process that happens, women do end up gaining a lot of weight, which is absolutely fine. You're carrying a child inside you. So there's nothing to worry about that. But that should not, prevent you to stop working out completely, at least in the initial days of pregnancy. I'm not a doctor, so do consult in with your doctor obviously before you take any actions. So as far as I'm concerned, you can work out as late as 3 or 4 months into the pregnancy, and then from there onwards, it's not usually suggested to do any sort of very high intensity stuff. So you can dial down your workout, or you can completely give yourself a break, which might be much needed at this stage. And then once your postpartum period goes away, then definitely you can start working out again and start getting back in shape. So there's no problem there. It's not really a real situation. It's all in the mind, and it's all this, and these things are amalgamation of the situation that people create for themselves, nothing else. Okay, so moving on from there, the next question we have is from Edwin Devnath. Okay, Edwin here asks, how soon will you lose your muscle once you are out of your workout schedule? Great question, Edwin. A really interesting question. So I'll do my best to answer this for you. So majority of us have, like I said in the previous question, we have not been working out for close to 3 months. So usually what happens is, if you're not lifting as heavily as you were before, chances are you might end up losing a bit of muscle mass if your workout is not that intense. I've made an entire series about this issue called the doggy 20. I'm sure you yourself have been following that. So if you are maintaining those sort of high intensity routines, chances are your muscle won't get into an atrophy stage. You will be able to hold on to your muscle mass. However, the more muscular you are, the more chances of you losing muscle might be there. Again, I'm talking about natural individuals here and not people who are into gears. So it's very difficult to put a number to it, but again, if you have stopped working out, actually seeing the signs of atrophy will be as late as 2 months or 3 months, maybe not more than that. But the best part is you can gain back this lost muscle mass very quickly once you start working out. This is what is called the detrained phase. So if you're a detrained individual, once you get back into the gym, once you start progressing slowly, you can get back to your previous shape in and around 1 to 2 months. The concept goes like, if you're out of working out for say 6 months, you can gain back your previous state as early as 2 to 3 months. So it's usually by half. So in case if you're not working out for 2 months and you start going to the gym again, you will gain back the lost progress within a matter of 1 month. So that's a rough calculation you can put to that. So I hope this helps you answer the question. Okay, the next one on our Facebook page has been asked by Doipayanda, lovingly called Bidduda. Okay, Bidduda has asked how to stay motivated towards your fitness during lockdown. Okay, so no more going into rants in this topic anymore. It's a very good question actually. It's a very specific, fitness specific question. So the thing that I have experienced personally is that you have to set yourself small micro goals. If you don't have these goals in place, chances are you will fall out of your routine and you won't find any positive aspect to continue this in the time of in such a time where everything is going wrong everywhere. So it's very important you have short-term goals that you put yourself to, and make sure you adhere to them and make sure you keep on achieving them. These micro goals has helped me personally to stay on track, and I'm sure it might help you too. So that's the best bullet point advice I can give to you if you are an individual who wants to stay fit and motivated towards your fitness goal during the lockdown period. So moving on from there, next question was asked by Rick. Okay, so Rick, like a usual teenager, has asked a very cliched question: how to grow arms fast? In one sentence, you can't.
You can't.
Okay, so jokes apart, arms should not be the sole focus of people who are starting off. Firstly, there's a lot of different body parts, the growth of which will benefit you more. So arms, as far as my coaching experience is concerned, if you're a newbie, anywhere from 1 day per week of direct arm training is good enough to gain big arms. It's not that much of a problem. Don't dedicate so much time into developing a small muscle group that you lose out on the bigger muscle group of your bodies, which will actually help you out in getting better shape. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, moving on from there. Okay, this question was asked by Ayush on Facebook. At what age should one start bothering about his or her fitness? Okay, out of all the questions I received, this one intrigued me a lot. It's a very, very important and interesting question. And just to keep it short for this Q&A session, there is no specific age that one should consider his or her fitness at, but definitely there can be a range where one should definitely be worrying about their fitness aspects of their lives. And in order to make this a lot more comprehensive, I really hope to make a completely different video on this very topic and give you a lot more details into it. So hold on for a few more days, Ayush. I'm sure a better, lot more intriguing content will come your way. Last but not the least question that I'll be taking is okay, from Shubhratrida, how to build triceps with dumbbells. In order to keep it really simple, you have to remember is that triceps, usually the shape of it comprises of 3 different heads, which happens to be the long head, the medial head and the lateral head. So as long as you're targeting all those separate heads differently, you're good to go. Along with a few compound movements, that will be perfect. You can choose different exercises, like I said, which target different heads of the tricep muscles. So say for example, if you're wanting to target the long head, which happens to comprise of the most volume inside your triceps, so you can do exercises like the overhead extension or the kickbacks at a proper angle. Or if you are wanting to develop the medial head, you can do a close grip dumbbell press going into a full extension. Also, similarly, you can get the dumbbells as a push-up stand and do a close grip push-up. So that is an incredible way to target your medial head. And coming towards the lateral head, one of the best exercises that I have been doing personally for me is an incline dumbbell skull crusher. So on an incline bench, you do a dumbbell skull crusher, or on an inclined platform at your home. So those, according to me, are one of the most efficient ways to target all 3 different heads of the triceps. And I hope that these cues will help you answer your question better. So that brings us to the end of the first ever Q&A session here at Fit-Wit. So I hope this helped a lot of you guys to understand a various variety of different topics all under one video. So like I said before, if you like this sort of a format, do let us know on the comment section below so that we can bring a lot more such content towards you. And I hope this video helped you out in some sort of way. And if it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and click on the subscribe button below and show us some love and support. So having said that, guys, this is your coach Promit Shome signing off for the week. See you all again next week with another cool video. Hey guys, a very warm welcome back to a brand new Q&A session of ours, where today we are going to be answering the top few questions that we have received throughout the past few weeks on our social media handles. So if you are not following us yet on our Facebook and Instagram pages, do click on the links below and start following us for a lot more insight content on fitness. So having said that, guys, let's not waste any more time and let's get straight down to the very interesting and intriguing questions. So the very first question that we have received is from Shivendra Raj Singh. Okay, so he has asked that I haven't worked out for 3 months, so how long would it take me to regain my shape? Okay, this is something of a similar sort that we discussed on the last Q&A. A lot of us have kind of stayed relatively dormant as compared to a usual routine for a span of close to 3 months now. That the gyms have been shut nearly, at least my gym has been shut. Exactly, it's been 3 months till date. So a lot of us has not been exposed to a lot of heavy weights or overload, as a matter of fact, in these months, and that has definitely affected our strength as well as our muscle mass to some extent, if you have not been working out regularly, that is. So basically this lockdown has caused a lot of us to derail from our existing workouts and stick to a few body weight based workouts inside our homes, and that too a lot of people are losing out on motivation and not working out that hard and neither do they have the props to work out that hard. Not that I believe that you need props to build a good body anyhow, but still, nonetheless, it has more to do with the psychological responses than the actual physical responses of your body. So having said that, the main answer to this would actually depend on how experienced of a lifter you are. So as far as I know you, or whatever it is that I know about you, this much I know that you have been lifting for quite a few years now, and you had quite a decent shape before the lockdown. So for someone like you who is considerably lean and also into fitness for a considerable amount of time, somewhere around, again this is a completely approximate figure since I know you and since I saw you and know you personally, so say somewhere around 2 to 3 months, if you work out hard, if you maintain a good enough diet, you should get back to at least 90 to 95% of the shape that you previously had, and this will come along with your strength gains also. So I'm sure once you start hitting the gym, you will find that your strength will drop to some extent, since chances are you have not been lifting as heavily as you were in the gym for the last 4 to 5 months. So definitely both the strength and muscle mass would enhance within a matter of few months at most if you are regular with your workouts. So don't worry about that, just give your all once the gym opens and take it slow and steady. Don't rush into things very fast, just take it slow and steady as much as your body would allow you, and you will see progress in no time. So moving on from there, the next is a very interesting question asked by Utanko Mitro. Okay, so Utanko Mitro here asks, how can Indian wrestlers be strong and big by having a veg diet and high volume training? Okay, so I have asked him also about this on his Instagram DM. What exactly does he mean by veg diet, and what exactly is he referring to when he says high volume training? So as far as I have understood his question, first and foremost, all Indian wrestlers are not necessarily veg, but like he pointed out, majority of them are. And the main issue that people create with a normal vegetarian diet is that the meat eaters kind of claim that you do not get the complete amino acid profile from a vegetable source as compared to an animal product. So here the main differentiating factor would be that it might be true to a very big extent that you don't get the complete amino acid profile. If I compare a non-vegetarian source and a vegetarian source like meat and paneer or dal tadka, which is supposedly in Indian culture, they think it's high in protein, I don't know why, although majority of it is carbs. Nonetheless, so these do not have the dal, for example, will definitely not have the complete amino acid profile as compared to a chicken. So among these, there are a lot of essential amino acids which are also known as EAAs, which the body requires. They are essential because the body itself cannot produce it. So these are often missing from these vegetarian sources. However, not all vegetarian protein sources are the same. So if you mix and match it up, knowing that what your body requires, if you complete the entire gamut of the amino acids that are required by mixing and matching your vegetable sources, you will have no problem theoretically whatsoever to gain any amount of muscle mass that you want. So for all those who think that vegetarian diet or vegan diet can't really build muscle, that is a complete myth, because there have been living examples out there. A lot of famous bodybuilders, a lot of famous athletes have shifted into vegetarian and vegan diets. So that is definitely a factor to consider. And more so when you're talking about high volume training, again, like I said, if you're getting in quality protein, if you're getting in good amount of calories, good quality food, definitely that will complement your training style. And being a wrestler, since you're involved in high volume activities like wrestling, which is no easy feat, so their body is bound to respond to that, provided they are getting sufficient amount of nutrients from their food. So moving on from there, the next question we have is from Jazzy. She asks, how to not decrease weight and convert all the extra fat into muscles, like a toned body. Okay, Jazzy, so hate to break it to you, but you can't really convert fat into muscles. That's a complete myth, and we have also made a video about this. So I'll put it up in the link above, so you can click on the I button and watch it for complete understanding. But nonetheless, to answer your question, definitely you can't convert fat to muscles, but you can definitely reduce your fat and gain a lean figure at the same time, which we refer to as the body recomposition. So in order to do a body recomposition, since I don't know you personally, so if you're someone who's rocking a bit of fat that you want to get rid of, so be in a very minimal calorie deficit for a few months. Along with that, do some physical activities, either go for a jog, go for a run, or now that the gyms are opening, you can take a membership, work out. So doing things like that simultaneously will help you reduce the fat, as well as incorporate strength and conditioning training in your routine. That is definitely going to help you get that toned figure that you're looking for. A lot of women has this misconception that lifting weights will like get you biceps and make you bulky. It does not happen this way, and I have also made a video regarding the training protocols of men and women, comparing both of them to each other. So do watch that. You will get a lot more insight as to how women should be training. So as long as you incorporate those two, you're good to go, and in no time I hope you will have that toned body. So moving on from there, the next question is from Basu Samrajit. Okay, so he asks, I hit the gym in the evening, so in the morning I do skipping in the house. Is it good? Okay, so this question has no predefined answer. What I would suggest, or what I practically practice on myself as well as a lot of my clients, and according to a lot of studies also, it has been found that if you want to get optimal results from both your cardio as well as your strength training, it's best to keep them separate. So what you do here is you do your morning walk in the, you do your gymming in the evening and walking, skipping in the morning. So you do your workouts in the evening and you do your cardio in the morning. So there's quite a bit of gap between that. So that has very little chance to affect each other. So that is the way I personally am a big endorser of. So I would definitely suggest you this, and there's nothing wrong with it as long as you're getting both of them in. So that's the main factor here to all those people who are watching thinking that what is the best time to do your cardio. There is no best time. The best time is the time that you can perform it, that's it. So make it more convenient to your personal routine rather than thinking about what timing would help you in achieving better results. So that's the biggest takeaway from this question. So I hope your question got answered. And moving on from there, the next question was asked by Avi KR2000. Okay, so he asks, which routine is better, push-pull leg or training single body part? Okay, Avi, so push-pull legs and push-pull legs as compared to a single body part in terms of training protocol completely depends on the experience that you have with lifting. So being a coach for a couple of years now and having experiences in training close to hundreds of clients right now, this much I can tell you from my own perspective and from my understanding is that if you're a beginner who's not used to good enough stimulus, you will have a very difficult time in recovering from a thorough push-pull leg routine, like a proper one. Where in a push routine, you're targeting your chest, your tricep, your shoulders, all the different upper body push muscles. Similarly, on pull, you're targeting your entire back, your traps, your rear delts, your biceps, etc. So that much volume given in a single day would indeed hinder your recovery to some extent. Again, this also depends from person to person. So I would suggest is not to intimidate your body with so much of volume. Rather, dial back a bit. You can do single body parts based on whatever goals that you're trying to achieve and get used to a certain threshold. And once you're used to that stimulus, I would say go for push-pull leg routine. That is something that I have been personally following, and also all those experienced lifters out there who can handle a lot of volume, who gets their nutrition in, who gets good amount of sleep. I do suggest push-pull legs routine as a much better alternative than hitting single body part. The main reason being because if you are following a push-pull leg routine, like I discussed in the very first of this answer, that you can get a lot more sets and repetitions in your workout as compared to a single body part routine. So that is why I am also an endorser of push-pull leg routine, as long as you and your body can handle it. As simple as that. So moving on to the next question by Chandak. He asks, for heart gainers, is protein that important or is it all about calories? Okay, Chandak, protein is definitely very important. It is the most anabolic thing you can give to your body apart from steroids. So as important as that. If you're not getting in enough protein, your muscle protein synthesis will take a hit to some extent. So I would say definitely getting your protein is as important, if not more important, than your overall calories. So-called being a heart gainer, as such, I don't support this idea of heart gaining and endomorph, ectomorph and all that. But definitely different people might have different responses to stimulus, as well as their bodies might have greater metabolisms than compared to someone else. So that distinction is there, and if you consider yourself to be someone who has a very difficult time in putting on muscle mass, definitely keep your calories way up there. Since I don't know you personally, I can't definitely give you a number, but say if you're a really hard gainer, if you're really someone who's very skinny, you can go northwards of 1000-1500 calories over your maintenance calories, as well as you can keep your protein at least 1.5 times your body weight in kgs. At least that's the least you can do, I would say. So I would recommend at least 2 times your body weight in kgs if you're a person who has really a big difficulty in putting on muscle mass. That is the least you can do. So I hope those 2 points will help you to answer your question better, and also giving you a perspective about what you can be doing. So moving on from there. Okay, okay. So this was the picture I used when I put up this Q&A in my Instagram profile, and my dear friend Indranil has asked a very intriguing question. The question is he holding your imaginary
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I don't think so, no. You better get back to work as soon as possible. The last question we'll take for this session is a question which is asked again by Avi. Okay, so Avi here asks quite a bit of an interesting question, that is, for muscle development, what should we focus on, the mind-muscle connection or lifting heavy? Okay, a very good question, Avi. I plan to make a completely separate video on this topic, gain a much bigger perspective into this, but for the time being I would say both are required to some extent, but definitely the overload factor, that is lifting heavy with correct form and with good enough range of motion, will definitely go a long way in helping you develop a lot more muscle mass than using extremely light weights and just getting that pump and feel. So definitely progressive overload, that is putting on weight slowly and steadily and increasing your weight loading capacity, will indeed help you gain a lot more muscle mass than say some other principles like metabolic stress. So it has a lot of studies has been there which has agreed to this. So I would say in a nutshell, yes, overloading might help you gain a bit more muscle, but the biggest question is, for how long will you overload? There will be a limit, there will be a threshold after which it's going to be very difficult for you to keeping on loading up that specific exercise. Say for example a bicep curl, if you are doing with 50, 60, 70, that 70 is towards the extreme, 70 kgs of curl. So there will be a time when you can't load up more. So then you would have to depend on things like metabolic stress and mind-muscle connection and time under tension and other different aspects of hypertrophy. So definitely if you're a beginner, go by the fact that overload will help you stimulate a lot more of your muscle mass for hypertrophy. So that was the very last question for this entire episode. I hope that you guys found some value in it, and feel free to follow us on our Instagram handles which are linked down below. Ask us your questions and queries regarding anything related to fitness. So I really hope you find this video useful, and to all those whose questions I answered, I really hope that you guys found some value in these answers and you can use them in your own fitness journey. So having said that, guys, this is your coach Promit Shome signing off for the week. See you all next week with another cool video.